All right.
3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Open Bar Review, coming to you from Riprock. It's the broken, beaten man, Paul Wedding. With me, as always, is Leopold Knopp. And this week, we will be reviewing the latest M. Night Shyamalan movie, Split. But first, Leo, I want to talk to you about MeUndies. It's this phenomenal website where you can order your own comfortable underwear. Just packages of it will be sent to your doorstep. And with the special promo code Open Bar Review, you can get 20% off your first purchase.
That's a lie. That's not true. Split is about this group of 3 girls. The only one that's really important is named Casey Cook. She's played by Anya Taylor-Joy. They are all kidnapped by a man named Kevin Wendell Crumb, played by James McAvoy, who has 23 different personalities. A couple of the more violent ones have taken over, and he's kidnapped these 3 girls to sacrifice to his cannibal personality. Also, his therapist shows up and is boring as hell.
I thought it was a really fun movie. It had its problems. I wouldn't say it was perfect. I thought James McAvoy put on a fucking clinic.
James McAvoy was magnificent.
Without even words, you could tell each and every individual personality had their own little looks, their own way of walking.
You've got to have that many different characters. They've got to be immediately identifiable, despite looking the same and having the same body, and he nails it.
Yeah,
body language, vocal tics are all just completely different. I was really looking forward to this specifically because of him. I can't imagine more than a handful of other actors who could pull this off. I thought Anya Taylor-Joy, she didn't quite have the opportunity to be as good, but she was great.
Yeah, there wasn't really anyone I had a problem with in this movie acting-wise. I thought everyone was pretty stellar.
As much as I liked it for a couple of reasons, and had a lot about it that I didn't like.
Yeah.
It kept interrupting itself.
Yeah, I felt it really cut away from the tension.
They keep cutting away so that he can have scenes with his therapist. The therapy sessions where he's actually in there and we're learning more about his character, I liked those, but when it cuts and it's just her on her own arguing about how DID is a real disease, and at one point literally giving a fucking seminar.
Yeah, that was really bad. The stuff they showed you didn't really help to build anything. I thought the mystery would have made it scarier, if anything.
It felt really short, but it clocked in at 2 hours, almost exactly. You could cut out that 10 minutes and not lose anything.
The girl, Casey is her name? I had a problem with Casey's little flashback moments, because they didn't really build up to anything, and they didn't really sync as well as I think M. Night thought that they did.
This is kind of a powerful theme in Split, and it's sewn in there really well, but I really don't like it. Kevin Crumb and his split personality disorder was developed as a child as a way to cope with an abusive mother, which is one of the most common ways DID develops in real life. And through flashbacks, we learn that Casey Cook was also abused by her uncle. The moral of the story, not that abuse is a good thing, but that being an abuse survivor is a good thing.
Yeah.
To the point that the abuse itself is kind of justified.
Like, they're made superior to people that weren't abused.
I came away feeling like I'd just been told to sexually abuse my children because it would make them stronger in the long run.
Right.
Like, it's the very uncomfortable.
She doesn't even say anything. We don't see her kicking him in the balls or something.
I would have been okay with that storyline if the arc actually ended.
Yeah, it didn't end.
But that's really what made it offensive, was the fact that she didn't come through.
Were you okay with the leaps and bounds this movie took with the science behind this disorder?
I fucking researched the science behind this disorder, and it really didn't.
Right, but you don't, like, physically change between personalities.
You do. There are many documented cases. The most famous example is a person with 12 personalities was allergic to orange juice, and one of the personalities wasn't. Most of the personalities would break out in these violent rashes when drinking orange juice. And then when the other one popped up, he would drink it and he would be just fine. A guy who was stung by a wasp, like really badly, he switched to a different personality that wasn't stung by the wasp, and the wasp sting went away.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
They don't understand this disorder very well. They don't know any physical brain changes. They haven't found anything on CAT scans or anything, and they've done a lot of research on it. They don't know the physical causes, but it has very profound effects. You do have different personalities with different genders, different ages, different sexual orientations, and the movie, with some pretty severe exaggeration, was actually fairly accurate to it.
Spoiler alert from here on out. Why don't you tell us what happens?
Major spoilers. Okay, so it turns out Split was set as the same universe as Unbreakable the whole time.
Yeah, it's not even like a twist. Like, it doesn't even affect the story. Just at the very end, they're like, "Oh, by the way, this movie happens in the same universe as this movie." Do you want to see a movie of Bruce Willis and James McAvoy fighting each other?
Yes, I do.
I do too, actually. I like the poetry of it, because like in the first Unbreakable movie, he fights his opposite, and the next movie he'll be fighting his equal, which I think is really cool.
Fuck me, you've spun this positively. You've convinced me that this was a good thing now. You hear the theme from Unbreakable start to play, and I'm like, no. What? This is just an Easter egg, right? This is nothing. I mean, it must be intentional. And then it cuts to David Dunn, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I wasn't against putting them in the same universe. I just wish it wasn't tacked on. If they could have like spun it into the movie a little more seamlessly, I would have appreciated that more. Last call, Knopp. How many beers would you buy M. Night for this movie?
I would buy him 3 or 4. This is a really, really well-directed movie. Really well-written in the parts where it's not cutting away from itself.
Yeah, I would also give it 3 beers. It had its problems, but overall it was tense, it was fun, wonderfully directed.
Very, very well acted.
It was very well paced too. I was never bored. Yeah.
Except when the therapist was on.
Yeah, true. I wouldn't mind watching it again at all.
Look how we just don't consider that part of the movie, because it wasn't. How many beers would you need to see this again?
I don't know, 1 or 2. It's I don't really think it would affect me.
Yeah, I don't think it would affect the enjoyment in any case.
All right. As always, Paul Wedding, Leo Knopp, Riprock, Split. Cheers.
Cheers.